Hey, Crown Content Publications followers, viewers, and supporters. Thank you for your support and clicking on my video and tuning in with the Crown Content Publication Services YouTube family where publishing and marketing meet, of course. If you're interested in learning more about our services to assist authors and freelancers just like you in the year of 2022, don't forget to visit my website, www.contentcrownpublications.com. This is where you can just pretty much get more of a generalization of the publication services I offer to authors, self-published authors specifically, and business consultation services, okay? Business consultation services can also include grant referral consultations, 45 minutes long for those of you who might be interested. Grant consultations are going to look like having discussions about whether you have found out what type of small business or nonprofit you would like to become. There are like a list of options when it comes to the type of nonprofit or foundation that you would like to become. As a matter of fact, Crown Content Publication has recently made it our mission to work closely side by side with the Women About Business Foundation in 2022. We'll talk more about who Women About Business is on other segments, but the main goal of Women About Business is to beautify and edify and elevate, women, okay? There is a long history when it comes to the rights of women all across the globe, okay? In every country, this is going to look different. But for those countries that are still blessed to see women thrive through times like this, Crown Content Publications finds it special. We celebrate women authors as it is because, a lot of the literary world, even in history, women made great contributions to, pretty much women writers. We are fighting for the respect of them. We're fighting for the advocacy and support of them as well in 2022. So anyways, if you saw the title of this video, it is voice versus tone. And actually, when I came up with this topic, I was like, because it's not a new topic, of course. Sorry, y'all. But when I came up with this, I said, something like voice versus tone can be talked about as a business segment. And since I'm a publication services coordinator, as a literary kind of like incitement segment as well, okay? So let's start off with the publication side of business when it comes to mastering the art of using voice and tone as a writer, okay? Voice, for example, is pretty much mastering using vocabulary, sentences, paragraphs, subtitles, to mastering, bringing it together and putting it more like in a flow in a flow of a particular manner and choice. Do we ever just sit as self-published authors and say, what voice am I going to bring to this book? Whose voice is being portrayed in this book? I mean, I might have 8 other characters, but there's only one main character. This is what it's going to look like with the fiction book, right? There's usually always characters and settings and plots and plot twists, okay? But each and every one of these, you experienced authors already know, but usually each and every one of these characters is a lot of work going into something like a nonfiction novel. I'm sorry, a fiction. Yeah, nonfiction. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to keep my thoughts together here. Yeah, a nonfiction novel. It's gonna take a lot of work sitting here strategically planning how each character's voice is going to be portrayed in this story, okay? You don't want the Tooth Fairy to sound like the Jack and the Beanstalk, because, those are 2 different characters, and Jack and the Beanstalk might just be your main character. I'm putting it in these words. I'm giving it like this for somebody who might be a fresh author in the game, or somebody who's a writer and might already say, you know what? I had a feeling voice and tone had a lot to do with the stories I write. Practically what I'm trying to say is, guys, the authors out here, the big time authors out here that mastered voice and tone early in their careers got further earlier. A literary agent, an editor didn't have to, they didn't have to put too much work when it came to coaching this particular writer or author. Because, you know, an idea is an idea. A storyline is a storyline. You can come up with that all day, but how do you strategize the perfect voice per character? Or if it's a memoir or biography, that's going to be even deeper. The voice matters, okay? And it's so ironic that all of us was born with the voice. What writers, I think, love, and what poets love, and what authors love is that they get to use their art, the art of voice another way. And yes, I was trying to go there. I'm thinking too fast. But yeah, writing is an art. This is why it's already considered, you know, it has its own category in the entertainment industry, because you're using your voice, all right. Whether it's fiction or nonfiction, you're giving these characters that don't even exist a voice. You might be giving your main character a voice. You're even giving your voice as an artist, as a writer, as an author, okay? And then it's an art. It's an art to sit there. Now, in real life, everybody's born with a voice, right? And those that may be born mute or deaf, even, it's so ironic, y'all, like, they have a voice. But let me stay on the publication side of voice and tone when it comes to literature and writing, okay? Because this is it's so funny how it ties into business and it ties into real life too. And this is just to encourage, like, it's not teaching anybody nothing, but kind of like inspire writers out there again. If you don't know much about Crown Publishing Content yet, this is our YouTube channel. We also have a separate podcast show, because when you talk about something, when you have the word content in general incorporated in your business name, the sky's the limit. You got video content, you got photography content, you have writing content, right? And what Crown Publishing Content is doing at this time in this season of our business is practically growing as content masters, okay? So it's really funny because it's already a whole business out here named Content Masters, but it was one that I liked when it came to finding the perfect name for what I was trying to start for my own small business. But I did find out there's a publication services business out here already called Content Masters, and that's what they do. They're kind of like us. So my point is, there are a million content masters that you guys can work with. Crown Publications, Crown Content Publications YouTube channel just came here to practically embrace our presence to the world a little bit, invite you guys into the Crown Publishing Content family, because we might be able to help you edit some videos, edit some photography, edit some books, okay? We offer ghostwriting services, formatting services, editing services. Though we target self-published authors, we are not limited to self-published authors, because a lot of the authors we work with sometimes have already published books with publishing companies. So we talk about that on other segments, how people, you know, it is beginning to trend, like self-publishing your book, because you find out you can save a lot of money. Not when we say save a lot of money, not just in the book publication process, but the more work you do on your own, the more that comes back to you. Like, you don't have to pay a third man, a fourth man, a first man. You don't have to pay people on contracts, because you sat there. All you did is pay somebody like Crown Content Publications to help you with two services. Maybe you already had your book cover design. Maybe you already had your synopsis and everything written for you to submit that book to a book publisher. We don't know your goals until you book that consultation with us. Once again, there's going to be a box square link on my website where it'll say get a consultation, and once you go there, you can book that consultation, or maybe you want more information before you even go that far. So our business phone number is also going to be located on that website, okay? I just thought I would get that out the way real quick, because trust me guys, I've did millions of other videos where I'm trying to practically, it just saves me a lot of time and a lot of energy. The more you know, because you've already checked out our segment, Like when somebody inboxes me on one of my business pages on social media, here lately I find myself just sending them a whole link to a YouTube video I did already on the topic or on the subject that they had a question about, okay? Because they're either gonna know or not, at least have more of a general feeling of whether I have services that they can use, okay? Once again, that's going to be on the book publication side, the marketing side, because we do offer promotions on our podcast show. You authors out there that's trying to promote and market your book, listen up. Because in 2022, all of our podcast promotions are absolutely free. You're just going to be emailing me at crowncontentpublications@aol.com and get the information about how you can become a guest soon on our show, because our listeners love authors, they're readers, they love books, and they're always willing to hear about fresh people in the industry, okay? And then if you're an entrepreneur or freelancer looking for promotion for your small business, this is also something we help you do on our podcast, okay? And like I say, all the segments are going to be free. These are going to be 20 to 30 minute interviews, just me kind of introducing you to our listeners. We are on most major platforms, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. So all you got to do is get on board with the recording, okay? We're already marketers, okay? That's why our tagline is what? Those of you that's been sticking with the channel, you already know, but we're publishing and marketing finally me. I love the word finally because you got a lot of marketing companies already. You got a lot of publication services company, but if it's not a big publishing house already, because Crown Publishing Content is not, we're not a publishing house, but we do offer services that help independent freelancers. When you became an author, you became an entrepreneur, and we like to call you guys authorpreneurs, okay? Because you chose to step out and do something like write a book on your own, okay? And even if Crown Publishing Content was to extend our service to you, while we're becoming popular to self-published authors, is we don't look for rights or ownership to your work. Like, we're not looking to throw our logo on there, or the only books, to be honest, y'all, that is going to read Crown Publishing Content Presents, at the top of them are going to be my own self-published books, because I own the copyrights to my work. I own the trademark to my logo and stuff like that. So I just prefer not to work as a publishing house right now, okay? I'm not looking to earn royalties off of each one of your book sales. But what I can help you do is increase your book sales, right? With promotion, with marketing strategies and things like this, okay? And you can do something like when you work with me and we do a consultation, we're looking at something like a new marketing strategy every year, or you're using the same marketing strategy, but why wouldn't you be willing to add or grow, experiment? If you see one marketing strategy didn't work for you in the year of 2019, why wouldn't you call me in 2020 and say, can we add a few more marketing strategies to this plan? It doesn't have to be a year, that's just an example, but maybe 6 months, 3 months down the line. Man, I went to that one book signing or Arthur, that Arthur pretty much gig you told me to go to conference. I couldn't get the word out. I went to this conference or something, Miss Whitney, and the love was great. I connected to these many people. Can you book me for more things like that within the next 3 months? That's what I would look like working for you as a publishing services coordinator. I'm not a literary agent, okay? Let me get back on topic here, because I left off talking about voice and what voice practically is and how powerful voice is as a writer, and you mastering how to use your own unique, your own individual voice as an author, right? People obviously at some point got to know Harry Potter, the author of Harry Potter books, that author's voice. They got to know Stephen King's voice. I'm just naming a few just universal people that anybody that clicked on this video could understand, right? But it was a particular way that they wrote, that they used, the way they incorporated their paragraphs, the way they transitioned certain phrases. It's a way that they learn to do this that caught readers' attention, and that should be the goal of authors. So we know that every author has a message. There's a point they're trying to get across. But if you can't keep the reader's attention, the first 5 paragraphs, you got a problem. The first 3 chapters. I mean, after 1 chapter, pretty much to me, a person is going to know, a reader is going to know whether this is a book of their interest or not. So, anyways, these are what our publishing consultations look like. Publication services consultations look like. Having these type of discussions, okay? Because just like with any other business endeavor, the more you plan and pour into your own work, don't think just because you become an independent author, it's less work or something. You want the honors of being a self-published author, but are you putting in everything you can possibly be putting in to sell your book, just like somebody who had their book published by Penguin House or somebody, okay? You could become that in 2022, or you could be putting the steps forward to become that, and by 2023 you got books selling out the roof because you were willing to put in the same type of work a publishing house would put in for you, for yourself, okay? We talk about that on another segment. I think it's called How Self-Publishers Are Saving Money in 2022. Check it out, because it's not like I just give a list of, but what I do is kind of go down a list of what paying somebody else, like just breaking down the numbers, if y'all feel me, like breaking down the numbers of what Amazon is keeping from those authors with books on their platform, breaking down the numbers of what it would look like if you let Crown Publishing Content get your book on our platform, and why we choose to do it the way we do it, okay? We had to, and this is totally a legal thing. I did a whole segment already about what you know what I'm saying, researching other businesses in your market, in your field of business. That's totally legal. And what illegal ways to research other businesses is going to look like. Like, you really can't just call a business and be asking them. You can't be a whole competitor. This is a federal crime, actually. You can't be a whole competitor of a business, but that business don't know it, and you done call them and you asking questions as if you're interested in services, but you're really interested in finding out how they're doing, what their next plan is in the next 6 months as far as marketing. For example, you got T-Mobile, Boost Mobile, and Sprint. They all provide the same services, right? But there's something that each and every one of them are doing that sets their business apart, that keeps their customers, right? So every big business knows this already. Apple knows they have to be careful when somebody from Google is calling, because it depends on the type of questions they're asking. Hopefully they're training these people. I say hopefully just to kind of be rhetoric, but people are trained in what they do, you know, to where they know, hey, that's why I'm telling y'all right here on this segment, don't call me asking no personal information about how because I can sit on the phone with you for 2 hours, but because I'm trained about what information to give and what not to give, if people knew my whole big vision as an entrepreneur, I'm going to say entrepreneur and authorpreneur. There are entrepreneurs out here, y'all, that still work 9 to 5 jobs. There are entrepreneurs out here that still work 3 jobs, okay? But let me say authorpreneur. If people knew my whole goal as an authorpreneur, and I know what I'm talking about, because the little bit I have told people, I've saw the changes in my life, the type of arrows I had to start dodging, just the way they react after they got a little bit of information of what they think I have revealed to them about everything I plan to do as an entrepreneur. So I'm just kind of like a beware to you entrepreneurs out there. It's okay to network and socialize and get to know other authors and how they've been remaining independent in this industry and things like that, and even give tips and advice to other people, okay? Yeah, because I'm that type of y'all see all these videos, I'm that type of person for real. But what I don't like is when you call yourself giving information, but people will, and like I say, there's a word for it. It's not infringement. It's a whole word, y'all. I just did a video on it. It's illegal to like spy and ask questions and know that you're doing it so that you can side cut or sideline that other business some way. So anyways, we have our business segments about these type of topics because I do feel like they're important, especially during a time like a pandemic. You don't want to put all your business plans to work. You're doing all this writing and research, and yeah, I'll tell you what I'm researching. Damn, do I gotta go through why I'm researching it? Do I gotta go through what plan I plan on incorporating with that? Okay, so it's just not for everybody to know. If they're not a mentor, if they're not your bookkeeper, if they're not your business attorney, it's really not for everybody to know your publishing plans or your full goals and vision as a, what do I offer as an entrepreneur? But what do I offer? Consultations. Because look, we might have I might have a whole contract you sign before that consultation even comes about, and this is going to help you win my trust, because in the contract it says, hey, nothing we discuss in this consultation today goes past this consultation. Like, I cannot be sitting around talking to my colleagues and insiders about your business, what you plan on doing with your romance book, how you plan on selling it next year. You know what I mean? How you plan on getting more website traffic. I shouldn't be telling everybody that. So those of you that are still out there on that level, you're not going to get far, because people are beginning to learn their rights in business, okay? I don't know how I got off on it, and I keep trying to talk about voice and tone in business and in writing. Okay, so boom, we talked about voice a little bit. Just like in the real world, your voice is everything. We don't know what's on your mind. We don't know what's in your heart until you bring that voice out. And then the voice is just, anybody can speak, anybody can talk and say what's on their mind and what's on their heart. But how you choose to use that voice in your book, right? You might be trying to captivate the reader's emotions. Some of you, most authors, that's what they're trying to do, okay? You don't have a book, you don't have a movie unless it jerks or captivates emotions, okay? Some are probably trying to persuade you about a certain thing, or inform you about a certain thing, or debunk a certain thing. So yes, you know what your point is as a writer, you know what you're trying to do, but how are you as an author going to bring your voice a little different to that book, to that documentary, to that biography? How are you going to do that to where people say, man, that was a piece of art to remember? Because this is exactly how artists do what they do, okay? And like I said, this is just more like inspiration, kind of like if you in the middle of a book right now and you had to go look up real quick, hey man, what is voice and tone going to mean in my book? I hope my video pops up for you. Tone. How does tone and voice differ? Just like I'm talking right now. The tone I choose to use when I am doing info segments on writing tips for authors is going to matter. Okay? But that's just an example of where I'm coming from. So tone is always setting a mood. Chapters 1 through 5 might give a mood of gloom. Chapters 6 through 12 might give a mood of, climax, because y'all got all kind of books out here. Then you got a little thriller going on. But definitely that story plan, that storyline, or that outline is going to include a tone and voice. A good planned out book, a good strategized book has planned what the tone and voice of this book is going to look like, okay? Just to get their message across. Because like I say, Jenny, Jack, and Joe can all say bees are yellow and black. But the tone that each one of them says it in is probably going to be different, right? They use their voice to get that message across, but what tone did Jenny say it in? What tone did Jack say it in? What tone did Joe say it in? Okay. So what helps us to set the mood? Our word choices, for example, right? If Joe is from South Texas, you're gonna know it because Joe probably uses a lot of cuss words. He's probably saying, "Hey, see y'all later." He's using the word "y'all" a lot. He might give some of his background in the way that he talks, in the way that he brings his message across about bees, okay? But the word choice you use definitely can help you set the mood, okay? I think a lot of writers or people that think they know what it is a writer has to do, they don't understand that this much work comes with it. Okay. It's not just going to get a dictionary and expanding your word knowledge, but that's going to be good too, especially for something like a book on a science subject or something, history, right? You want to expand your word choice, you know what I'm saying, category of choice of words. And that's not to say that makes you a better writer than somebody else. It's just to say that, are you using the best word choices to set the right mood, to set the right tone? We know who the author is. It says it on the front of the book. But what tone are you coming from when you tell your story? She may have gotten hit by a car, and she got hit by a car too. Y'all thought I was going to use the one where they all seen the car wreck from four different... That's an old example. They all seen the car wreck from four different points of view, so they're all going to give a different story. That's not where I'm going with this. Jenny got hit by a car. David got hit by a car, for example, okay? And they both felt this impact. They both knows what it's like to be hit by a car. But the word choice is what's going to help us. Like, man, we know they both must have felt pain. We know they both had to go through something with the insurance companies, and they both, something led to the impact of two cars hitting. Like, both of them are going to have their story. But when it comes to the tone that they tell their story in, yeah, hers might be more from an angry place, because who wouldn't understand that? And as an author, when she writes that, she wants readers to know, man, this whole experience of getting hit by a car made me angry. David, though, he might say, you know, I'm thankful for my life. This book is going to be about how I wasn't even grateful for little things like getting up, breathing in the morning, and being able to brush my teeth without assistance. David's book might come from a place of thanksgiving, because he, you know, like I said, they both experienced the same thing. But what mood, what tone, when they're using their voices, authors, are they coming from when they're writing and expressing themselves with their stories, okay? To convince the readers of particular feelings. So I said voice is more like, I mean, because I have to put stuff in my own words. You can clearly go Google what these two things mean, and it's not going to hopefully be in the same words that I'm saying, right? Because I have to use things and try to give it to y'all from a publishing services coordinator of how this is going to look. Because to me, writing stories is fun. Seeing other people's ideas to bring the story alive is fun. Why? Because I get to kind of like explore other people's thoughts processes and the way that they express themselves, even if something they experienced was just like what I went through. Maybe their perception is different, and it helps my character, because if I do this as work as an entrepreneur, and I can respect how other authors bring a story alive, then I'm definitely paying attention to the people that talk to me on a day-to-day basis. Like, didn't she tell me this went like this, but the story switches up? Like, she done told me the same story 5 times, but every time she tell me this story, it's like, because I can respect somebody that adds something, because maybe you didn't get to tell me the whole story the very first 4 or 5 times you told me. So, but I definitely am the type of person like, okay, you didn't add that in there. I mean, you know, and I might say, so he was there too that day? Oh, yeah, girl, I never got to go over that part. And whoop. Like, we have to have our own sense of judgment, even as readers when we're reading books, to understand what message a person is trying to portray. Let me throw this in here too. If an author has to write over 200 pages, and this is about something somebody experienced, for example, like, if they have to write that much to get the story across, that's why many people are encouraged to write a book, because ain't no way they can tell you in 5 different segments. That's how much happened to them. Who are you to take that away from them? Yet this is why people become authors. Their voice, they feel like their physical voice is not being heard. Y'all can hear me right now, right? You can hear me, but do you hear me? If I talk about a specific story or something that I've been through, can you hear me? Or am I better at bringing emotions alive, captivating people, putting them in my shoes a little bit through writing it? and it's cool. I had a lot of exes used to tell me, y'all, like, why do you wait till you're not in my face and you text me? Oh, my heart goes out to any of you guys. I want all my exes to know too on this channel, like, it's all love. Thank you for the little season and time or whatever you put into me, took from me. Is I take it all as learning experiences. It's all love. And it's like, they can all probably say that though, man. There's no way I told you how I felt to your face. Like, 100% what I told me telling you. And it's the age of digital technology. I know I can text you. I'm one of them type of women. It doesn't mean that woman can't express herself. I don't think they knew they was dealing with an Arthur though. And this how you learn through stuff like this. I learned, like, man, I am a natural born writer. I even feel more comfortable. Just like you can just go tell Jack to his face, man, whoop whoop whoop, this how I feel. Everybody not like that. Everybody not like that. But get them a pen and paper, get them a phone where they can text it out. And that's where, I do feel like I'm just using this as a part of this segment when we talk about voice and tone, because I feel like that matters. Communication definitely changed when you had something like digital technology brought to the table for society. And this became a form of communication for people. Like, why do I really got to sit in your face and tell you? Now, we know body language speaks too. Vibes and energy speak, because we talk about this on other segments. But even with me knowing all that, I can totally communicate better. I wouldn't care if it's email, text message, writing a letter. I get more of what I'm feeling out that way. You may not be that way, or maybe, even journaling. I've been one of them people that helps. I might have strengthened in that area because I didn't always find journaling right. Just, I ain't gonna say pleasurable, but maybe I was just so busy, channeling the emotions other ways, that journaling is not, it wasn't like a big thing to me. But I've talked to people that say, look, man, journaling helped me. And I see why, because if you can sit there and write and then later on go read, how you felt, how is that not therapeutic for somebody? Like, because journaling, this in diaries, that's something that's supposed to be like yours only. Y'all notice it's just another tip for you writers out there, strategizing and trying to come up with book titles as we speak. But any title of a book that ever said the diary of, you know why people pick that up so quick? Right? Because a diary is supposed to be like sacred. It's something that you write that nobody is supposed to ever get a hold of, okay? In these type of books, not just biography, memoirs or something, when you title anything the diary of, boy, people quick to pick that up. Well, let me see who it is first and what type of things. Let me read the back of this book, this summary, and see what type of things he or she is about to be disclosing. But it just shows the human nature, nosy in all of us. Like, people love diary stories or first-hand told stories. So even if you're just a professional storyteller, the professional storytellers have already found out, look, voice and tone is a big part of my job. If I can't sit here and read to children and switch up my voice per character, what kind of storyteller am I? I wouldn't care if it's my first time reading a book. Like, it just should come with telling a story. If the skunk is talking 1 second, the mice is talking the next second, the bird is talking the next second, why would I give them all the same tone? This is just expressing to the children I'm reading to all the different voices that are in this book, So anyways, this is my kind of like, this is my way of expressing, this is what voice and tone looks like and how significant it is in writing. So really quick before I get off this segment, let's talk about voice and tone in business, okay? Voice and tone in business. Look how it just leaks over in business. What did I just tell y'all? When you became an author, you became an entrepreneur anyway. So we can look at it as that type of business, or anybody in business could take something from this video, because voice and tone it matters in business. See, some of y'all didn't know you ran that customer off last May because of how you said something. You said, well, look, I was just trying to tell her the policy. You can't come in here without a mask on. But, you know, what tone did you say it in? Look, I was just trying to tell her I don't want, some of y'all with exes. You don't understand why that woman is so bitter and she feel like you did it wrong. What tone? Well, I did the right thing, I told her. What tone? When you told her, you used your voice. But what tone? Because to me, relationships are serious business. I wouldn't care what type of relationship it is. Because it's called relationship because there was some relations. If it's sister-brother, it's some relations there. You're not just sister and brother. You probably trusted your brother. You probably trusted your sister. If it's an ex, that's relations. If it's customer on client on colleague, CEO on employee, that is relations. So these are relationships being formed in the workplace. So how you say something to somebody is definitely going to matter. How you respond. Because people are already looking at that. They waiting on your response. That's why they text you in the first place. That's why they emailed you in the first place. They're looking at how quick you did it. And then when you did it, what it said, that's what I just talked about when it came to communication and technology too. Because everybody doesn't agree that this was a good way that people should have begun communicating. Before technology, if you didn't pretty much say it to somebody's face on the phone or write it in a letter, they didn't know how you felt. They got to hear it through rumors. You know, the world was probably just as messy then too. I'm thinking about it, but let me stay on topic here. It's like knowing your voice too. You're going to have to get comfortable with your voice in business. How do you expect to market your own business and you're scared of your own voice? Okay, like I've been having fun getting to know my voice here lately. As y'all can tell, I talk a lot, so I had to start a YouTube channel, and then some days I get tired of talking. I'm human too. I get tired of talking. I say, look, I'm not going to respond, and then I might respond to some 2-3 days later. People will try to hold that to you. That's something you got to pay attention to too. In business, it's like there are healthy ways to brush people off too. Like, and I feel like a person of good character, of judgment and things like this, you're not just going to brush somebody off. You know, you might give them, hey, look, I'm going to be busy for the next week or two. And anybody that's ever done it to me, thank you. And some of y'all did. Like, look, I can't work on this project with you this week. I got this to do. I can't talk legal business with you this week. I got this, I got these many clients. I got other things to do. To me, that's not brushing me off. You have kind of given me a generalization of why I might not hear from you for a while, right? Communication is so important, guys. Like, and this is how things get mixed up and burnt up in the pot and people take things wrong because we don't have enough people that are willing to learn to communicate. And because you having a voice and just talking is not knowing how to use your voice. That's why some of us say things that we should have been quiet about. Some of us have said too much. Some of us even said too much to the wrong people because we don't know how to use our VOICE. Your voice is just as powerful quiet as it is when it's speaking. So why wouldn't you want to use your power of voice, okay? And not just in books. We're not talking about books and writing anymore, or articles and things like this when it comes to using your voice and your tone. In business, this is even more important because impressions are everything. The vibe you gave off, the tone you gave off, you know what I mean? The tone you speak in. A lot of y'all done ran good people out of your life just because you don't know how to watch the tone you speak in. Even in text message and emails, y'all, people can feel, they can feel your tone because you put these 3 words in capital letters. Don't call my phone no more. That's 5 words, but you put them in capital letters. I said I didn't, or you put exclamation marks. That all got to do with your tone. Voice is powerful because did you speak up when you saw that employee still at the register that day? That's step 1 of your voice. And then when you did it, how did you use your voice? Because it didn't have to be in a snitch way, but hey, Mr. Manager, you might want to recount that drawer again because, I'd like to remain anonymous. I might have been dreaming, but I thought I saw it. You're still using your voice, but you're choosing how you want to use your voice, okay? Hey, you might want to check on that young lady over there. It has none of my business, but it's like 5 bullies messing with her persistently, and she's not bothering anybody. Because like I say, y'all staying quiet about certain things is just as powerful as speaking up about it is. You staying quiet could be why somebody is not somewhere in life right now. You staying quiet could be why you're not somewhere in life right now. Okay, so the volume of your voice matters. The tone of your voice matters. Using your voice at all, you choosing to stay quiet, matters. Like if there's a guy out here that judges this type of stuff and something went on for so long just because you said, I'm not going to use my voice about that. I'm not even going to text message, email, write it out about it. Like I'm net silent about this situation. Some things it's good to be silent about, as we all probably know universally. Some things it's time for you to, you should feel that in your gut. Like, man, when you feel like you tired of staying quiet about something, it's time to speak. But I'm just saying, because some people, they just speak out of how long they've held something in. Well, it doesn't hurt to kind of reassess, strategize how you even plan to use your voice, okay? It was something I saw today. I was going to use it for example, but this is why people, they respect the celebrities that come out and speak on, things that are universally happening, or something that's happening in society, or something that's happening with, they saw, in Hollywood with another actor, and they speak up about it. You know why people be respecting their opinions? Because they're on another status, but they still chose to use their voice about something. Your voice is not less valuable because of this is how valuable voice is. I'm telling y'all, some people have lost because a voice wasn't used at all. Some people have won because a voice wasn't used at all. They won that wasn't supposed to win. Or somebody won and they were supposed to win because somebody used their voice, or because somebody didn't say nothing at all. So I'm just kind of giving y'all a depiction of how powerful and how important voice is in business as well. How significant knowing how to use the right tone in the right settings, in the right places. You go over my videos, you'll see on certain topics, my tone is way different, because and I have no problem exhibiting that and expressing, because I might feel like, look, I know how to use my tone, so if you heard me say it like that, this is how I felt. I know how to use my tone, so if you heard me stay meek about that situation, trust me, it was on purpose. If you saw me stay kind of shy away from the conversation, it's probably because I wanted nothing to do with the conversation. But the things that I want to speak up about, that I want to voice or use my tone about, it shows in my life. I feel like that. And if I can't speak openly about it, I am a writer, thankfully. I'm a writer. I can write it out, even if it's in a diary, a journal, because that's a safe place. You can use whatever tone you want to. Ain't nobody going to get offended because you paid for the journal and pen you writing with. Okay? You can use the voice that you want to. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to another segment with the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel where publishing and marketing meet. Once again, I'm going to shout out my website, www.contentcrownpublications.com. This is where you can book a consultation or find our business operation hours and our business phone number, and call me with any questions you may have when it comes to publishing your next book. As an entrepreneur, this means self-publishing your next book, and the services we can bring to the table, the promotion we can bring to the table, the marketing we can bring to the table, the connections we can connect you with when it comes to distribution, printing, and things like that, or even designers that we can bring to the table to help you bring your vision alive. That's all I have for you guys on the topic of tone and voice. If you appreciated this video in life, give me a like and subscribe to my channel for more inspirational tips and facts when it comes to the industry and of entertainment of authors. Because like I say, writing is an art, okay? It's an art. You're considered an artist. And I do think, We can use work when it comes to lifting up independent writers and respecting the work that they do on or off work, in and outside of their personal life. This is who they are. Everybody I'm gonna say this for the next one, but I'm gonna throw this in here real quick. Everybody talking about the LGBT community and how you make them feel different. You're not respecting who they are, who they choose to be. It's the same thing with authors and writers and publishers. Like, I think people just, it's a lot come with that. I'm gonna do a whole segment on it. I gotta speak up for us authors. It's a whole nother life that I feel like if another author would have shedded light on it to me about, I ain't gonna say I wouldn't have never became an author, but I definitely would have, took my time and did it a certain way. Because you like, it ain't like I go to people and say, hey, how you doing? I'm author such and such. And I learned real quick you don't do that because of what comes with it. That's like you going somewhere saying, hey, I'm model such and such, I'm actor such and such. There's a time and a setting and a place for the tone and voice that we use, okay? So when I had, like people that knew me my whole life another way, and you start saying you're an author, people take that maybe all they hear is, oh, you thinking about writing about me? Like, no, baby, why is you putting that stereotype on me like that? I can write about many things, the birds, the trees. I just like to write. The lotions I use, that's why I became a blogger. I can think of any topic and go write about it, okay? But people will, all of a sudden, they just treat you different. They shy away. There's this great space between y'all all of a sudden, because, I don't know. But I just feel like if I had an author buddy, I would think it's very cool. I would check on them like, hey, have you ever thought about writing this? Or what you working on right now? Like, oh, you need help with putting one of the characters together? Let me help you, I don't think I would let it intimidate me. I wouldn't think I would lose sleep every night wondering what my buddy, friend, or kinfolk writing about. Like, and that's just that part. But like I say, with strangers too, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I better watch what I do and say around you. You're an author. How do y'all think that makes authors feel? I better watch what I say around you. You do documentaries? I'm not a reporter here. Is that what y'all trying to get? The things I've been through, I might as well be. Reporters gotta live in shells and watch everything. I'm like, I am an author, not a report. I don't report and things like that. Like, that's not what I do. But I respect reporters, because now the little bit I'm seeing about what authors go through, boy, I'm like, boy, reporters can't have it easy. Not only do they have to constantly make it, it's stuff that come with a reporter's job, guys. Like, there's certain laws they have to abide by when it comes to media and content. Then they gotta watch themselves constantly, because you're gonna gain enemies when you are reporting things, practically exposing things. And this becomes your profession. You're gonna gain enemies, because everybody. I wouldn't care if it's about black shoes. Somebody gonna have a problem because black is their favorite color. And they're just like, how dare you talk about your opinion on black shoes, and that's what I like. But you have to be built. If you're thinking about becoming a writer that speaks on real topics, you might as well go ahead and get ready for that. If you haven't already, did a little sweeping around your front door, back door, because and just find out who really, I'm saying, the ones you can handle that, but yeah, be careful. It ain't for everybody to know your profession. So if I work at a glass cleaning place, I have no problem telling you that. Hey, what do you do for? I'm a glass cleaner. Nobody treats you any. Okay, that's respectable. You enjoy it. How long you been working there? People treat you different. You're a 9 to 5. You say you're a writer, boy. It's like, for some reason, people don't even it's an unconscious thing. They like, writer, oh. It's just not taken serious. But I hope in my time of living that we can respect writers more. We can respect content creators more, okay? Because what they do is not just some fun. They like to talk. At least they found something active to do with their voice. At least they found something active to do with what they like to do. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to give my video a like.